Now, y'all already know what time it is. It is time for the mess. So let's get into it, you guys. What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. What's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and I intend on doing the exact same. What's going on, y'all? Now, before we get into anything else in regards to this video, let's talk about what we got on the church announcements. So, as you guys already know, the Whether You Like It or Not panel is every Monday, and this Monday it will be on Yakrati's platform. So make sure you guys tune in to that. Tune in every Monday at 8:30, 7:30 Central. We all host a panel. It always starts with me, then T, then JoJo, then Really B, then y'all, then Simply Sakina. So make sure you guys tune in for that. All right. And also, Boys Night Out will be returning. We have our air date already, but we will be revealing it to you guys at the end of the month. So make sure you guys are getting ready for that. And also, the Chasing Reality panel will be back, but this time it will be Chasing Atlanta and not Chasing Dallas. And it will have all 6 members back: Scotty, T, Jamar, Carl, Tramiel, and Jeremy. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that in September. All right. So with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all we got for the church announcements for today. So we're going to go ahead and get into the mess. And we are here to do some commentary and a listen along to the interview that Carlos King did with Miss Destiny Payton. Now, as you guys already know, the Love and Hip Hop, Love and Marriage Huntsville has returned for a 6th season. They're going into their mid-season break now. And the question remains, where's Destiny? Did she get fired? Why isn't she here? Why didn't we see her in any scenes? She was at the Business Expo and we didn't see her. What exactly is going on with Destiny? So right now we're about to listen to this interview and I will be stopping and going, giving my commentary. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let's take a listen.
You know that a lot of people have been asking about you. Where's Destiny? Where's Destiny? We haven't seen Destiny. What's going on? You know, we just wrapped our mid-season finale on the show this past Saturday, and people have been asking, what happened to Destiny? Where is Destiny? We haven't seen Destiny on this season. So where have you been, baby? And why haven't we seen you on Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Well, you know, you had fired me at the reunion. So, you know, you were about to lose your job. You were about to lose. Let me stop playing. No, seriously. Yeah, you came hard at me at the reunion, Carlos, real hard. And
We'll get into that. Go ahead. But we're gonna have a real conversation. This is not prep. We don't have any like pre-interview questions. Go ahead.
Okay, but I will say this is no, I wasn't fired because I feel like you get a bad rap about firing me. And that's not the truth. The truth of the matter, that's just actually wasn't. It was contractual issues that had nothing to do with you. And you actually called me right before the season started and you were like, we're gonna do a reset. I really want people to get to know who you really are, like get into your real story. And so I want to let people know that Carlos was not, felt like I was on the chopping block with it.
Oh, let's go. My Detroit dad.
Okay, so the first things first that we're going to discuss, the fact that she was never on the chopping block. That's the first thing. She wasn't on a chopping block. Oops. She wasn't on a chopping block for the most part. And you know, I thought she was on a chopping block. You feel what I'm saying? Like I always thought that's where she was, but apparently she never was on a chopping block. She did say that they had like a conversation or some sort about the situation, about how you know, she was supposed to be on the show and how she was gonna do it, but it turned out that it was like a contractual thing. So yeah, she didn't get fired according to them too. So let's go ahead and get back into it.
Destiny, honey, I am here for this. So look, I'm glad you talked about that. You know, listen, people like to throw so much shade my direction. They think I'm like this maniacal person who is super shady behind the scenes and I do things behind people's backs and I don't take up for this person. or I favor this person. And it's all of these weird things.
Now,
and
the favorite stuff.
well, listen, we're gonna get into everything because one thing about us Detroit folks, we keep it real. So
100.
Obviously a lot of people were like, Carlos fired Destiny. It's not fair. You should fire so-and-so. If you fired Destiny because she wasn't giving you story, then you should fire this other person or these other people for not doing what Destiny got fired for, allegedly. So I'm happy you said that. And look, at the end of the day, you and I had almost an hour-long conversation before we started filming this current season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I don't take that lightly. You know, I'm a very busy guy. And to take an hour of my time to talk to any of my cast members, I do it because I love you all dearly. And I always want people to feel like they have somebody they can vent to and who can sort of guide them. So before we get into our conversation, I want to go back to the reunion because you made a comment about the reunion. Did you think I was hard on you at the reunion?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got somebody mad at you, by the way.
Oh.
Moses.
Is that your man?
He's mad at you from the reunion because he feel like you came hard at me. Yes and yes.
First of all, I go hard on everybody. So that's
I'm just telling you.
You don't go hard on everybody, and you damn sure don't go that hard on Martel. Did I stutter or did I not? Did I stutter? You don't go that hard on everybody now. You did go damn hard on Destiny. You definitely did. I really agree with that. You went hard as hell on Destiny, but I don't think you go hard on everybody like that. Especially not Martel, because you're out here doing campaigns to make his damn image be better, child. Let's continue.
I'm just telling you.
But I'm asking you directly. I'm asking you directly. Do you think I singled you out and I don't go hard on other cast members?
You have your moments. Absolutely. I don't think you singled me out, but I definitely felt the fire. I was in the hot seat.
Because you deserve to be in the hot seat.
Oh.
You don't.
Why Carlos the King?
You don't think it was warranted?
Maybe I'm biased because it's me.
No, look, you know, and we're gonna have a real good conversation today. You know I love you. You know that, and you tell me if I say anything that isn't accurate. You know that I love you.
Listen, one thing I want to say too is that you know some deep secrets and you have been very protective of them. And I want to thank you for that. You know way more. I mean, it's never been put out there. I've never heard it back. So when people say you don't protect people, that is absolutely untrue.
Yeah, no, people say this all the time. Well, thank you, my Destiny. People love to say Carlo doesn't protect people. He doesn't protect. Y'all don't know what I do behind the scenes. I'll go ahead with that narrative because at the end of the day, we don't care. I tell people all the time, being on reality TV is not easy.
Ain't for the faint of heart.
It isn't. It's a lot. It's a lot, especially when it comes to some. And it's a small sector. They're just loud. But it's a small sector of audiences from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, who do the most.
I used to be in the comments. No, hold up. I used to be in the comments windmilling. I used to be. You was like, no, read the comments. I'm like, I can't listen. Who they think they you to? But listen, after I was blocking people for 30 minutes one day, 30 minutes, Carlos, block. I was like, man, I was supposed to be in the gym 25 minutes ago, and I'm blocking people. You know what? God said, if you prepare a table in front of your enemies, I can't let y'all see everything that God is doing for me if you can't see. So come and sit at this table. So I unblocked so many people. Come on, watch it.
No, let's watch it. They watched me host the reunion, and you said I was hard on you. So let's get into that. let's go back to that. The reason why I said it was warranted is you had a lot of story last season. You are a star. And I feel that way. I adore you. I love you. Me and the other producers would single-handedly fight for you to have a voice on the show. The reason why I was hard on you is because, and I said this to you, and I'm gonna say it publicly. The show is called Love and Marriage, a show about couples. At the beginning of the seasons 1, 2, and 3, the inception of the show is about couples. You came on the show with your ex-husband, and although at the time your husband, at the time we were like, oh, this would be a fun addition to the show. You and your ex divorced. I still was like, no, Destiny brings a lot to this show. I made you the first friend up to the show, a show that was about couples. I loved you, believed in you so much that I said, although she's divorcing this man that she came on the show with, I am invested in Destiny. And if I'm being honest with you, and I did say this to you privately on our phone call, we get to that too. I said, Destiny, I gave you this opportunity that you deserve, And I felt like you weren't living up to my expectation, the producer's expectation, and the expectations of the audience, because you were very guarded. And that to me,
I will agree. Destiny had a lot of story to tell. She had a lot of things that she could have said. And she sat there on that platform and she did not do that much with it. I understand that there were some stipulations to certain things there were certain things that she couldn't really talk about. Like she couldn't really talk about LeBerry. She couldn't really talk about her kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like she really couldn't talk about the things that we really wanted her to talk about. So I know there were limited things, but there were other things that she could have dig deep into for us to understand her better. You feel what I'm saying? And I just think that she didn't do what we needed her to do. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with that. Let's continue.
me was the reason why I had to go hard in terms of asking the tough questions, because I wanted more from you, Destiny, and I felt like you weren't meeting me halfway.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel there's some fairness in that statement. I also feel like there were moments that I felt I was giving, and maybe I wasn't. But I felt that. And also I was in so much, I wasn't me. Like last season, I watched myself not be myself. And to look back at it now in the healed space that I'm in, I can see that. But I was guarded because I was confused about where I was in life. I was healing from the divorce, everything that was going on. And I really didn't even know that I wasn't giving. I didn't know in the moment. And so now that I'm in a different space, baby.
Yes, different
and
space.
Healing, and just in a different mental space. I can say some of that was true, but I really didn't know how to give you story in a safe way. I just didn't know how to do it.
And one thing I want to say to you is this. I've worked on several shows, including Love and Marriage Huntsville, where divorce happens. And one thing that I know in my history of producing reality TV across all of my shows on my resume is that when a woman goes through a divorce, it's the most devastating time of her life. And it just hit me when you said I wasn't myself. And I look back on last season, and even I don't recognize myself, right? I would even say that when I worked on another show, and I'm just going to say it, when I was working on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and Nene Leakes was divorcing Greg Leakes, may he rest in peace. And it was my first time experiencing a woman going through a divorce in real time, and we're filming. And me and Nene got into a lot of heated discussions. I'm like, what are you doing? And it took her to say to me, I don't think you understand that I'm going through a divorce. And I don't know who I am anymore. And I'm now realizing that may have been who you were, because I know that happens to some women on reality TV who are going through a divorce. It's like a death, I've been told by several people. And that is something that I wish you and I would have come together and spoken about the time. Because I now looking at you, see that when you were going through your divorce and you were filming last season and you even say to yourself, I looked at myself and I'm like, I don't even recognize this woman. What were you going through that you're now able to say, oh, this is what I was feeling at the time, and that's why the audience wasn't connecting with me?
I was being very protective of the situation that I was going through. And it was a lot of scenes I was walking into, from sitting with my attorneys for custody battles and sitting with my attorneys for another motion being filed against me. I'm being served by processors. So like, I felt like I had PTSD. You know how many times I got served during that season? Like, processors beating on my door.
What?
Like, so, yeah. So yeah, it was a lot, and I couldn't talk about it because legally, you know, in my divorce decree, and to clarify, in my divorce decree, it says I can't speak about my ex-husband on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And
This was the thing that I never understood. In her divorce decree, it states that she is not allowed to discuss LeBerick on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but yet she can go into interviews and she can still talk about him. So my whole question was, if she can still talk about him in interviews and all that other good jazz, why can't she talk about him on the show? She's still speaking about him publicly. You feel me? If she's still going to speak about him publicly, she may as well be able to speak about him on the show. Like, the interviews are public. It's nothing private about that. So why can't she just talk about him on the show? That never made sense to me. I just, like, if she can go out and do interviews, then she can go out and talk about it on the show. I mean, honestly, but that's my opinion, though. You know, don't listen to me. That's just my opinion. Let's continue on.
I had to really sit in. I didn't even know. I had to accept it first. First, I didn't even accept it. And when it started to become a reality to me, and what I was sitting in and what I was going through in the divorce, and then it was just constant motions being filed. Once I acknowledged it, once I spoke it, I spoke to you about it in private, and once I really realized that, hey, this is the reality of your life. This is a choice that you made. Now being on the other side of that and accepting that and healing from that and speaking to other women and helping them heal from certain situations has given me my strength back.
When you were going through that situation last season, who did you have to lean on to emote? Because what we didn't see on camera was you emoting to the cast members. You know, Kimmy said, like, girl, we be trying to pull things out of you. And
Kimmy was trying to be nosy. That's the difference.
You said you think Kimmy was trying to be nosy?
It was. I'm a process person. Like, I will tell you everything, but when you ask me, I'm like, well, why are you asking? What you want to know? You all up in what? Kool-Aid? What's up with yours?
Did you have anyone to talk to about this?
I absolutely did. Now, I have lifelong friends outside of the show, 25, 30-year friendships. So, of course, I leaned into that. I leaned into my life coach and therapist. But if you want to talk about cast members, like, Tisha has become one of my ride or dies. Real talk. She's been there through a lot. I mean, coming to the emergency room when my son ended up there, and her bringing me food. Like, she's been there. Like, I done held the girl's hair on a girl's night when she was, and you know, that's real friendship right there.
Not Tisha having a drunken night, honey, with the girl.
I didn't say that. I just said on the girl's
allegedly.
Night, I held her hair, and what had happened
was Tisha throwing up and you held her hair back?
I was just saying, you know, girls' night, we had a good time, you know, make sure.
No, I love that for Tisha. Tisha, get drunk at a girls' night, throw up. You deserve it, Tisha. So no,
she's gonna kill me. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me.
I think that's beautiful. Tisha, work, honey. I want mothers to know, just because you're a mom and a wife doesn't mean you can't have fun and have a nice girls' ratchet moment. Go ahead, Tisha, bitch.
Down at the Black, we had it.
So Tisha has become one of your confidants, one of your good.
The fact that her and Tisha are friends is still a mystery to me. Because when I first started watching this show, I started watching the show on the second season, and I always thought that they were cordial, but they were never really friends like that. And now that her and Melody are not friends anymore, her and Tisha have became close. And I don't want it to sound like we linking up because we mad. You know what I mean? Maybe they were able to, grasp each other and get a great relationship out of it. Sometimes, it takes certain situations for you to get to know people. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know, maybe that is the case. I don't know. But it's still weird. I never thought that Tisha and Destiny would ever be friends like that.
Good friends.
She has, absolutely. And she's been consistent. So I can't, I've been doing this show, 5 years now? And yeah, so Tisha and I actually started developing a relationship after the first season. I remember the first time she called me and I was like, oh, what's this about to be about? Outside of filming. And it was just, she was asking for referrals for different things, accountants and stuff like that. She was looking for a new accountant. And from there, we just continued to talk about life, fashion, parents, all that.
Where do things stand right now between you and Melody?
They stand where they were left a year ago, a little over a year ago.
You two don't talk.
Mm-mm.
Do you miss your friendship with her?
I still have love for Melody Holt, and I really think that time in our lives, we both were really hurting, and we leaned on each other. And they talk about trauma bonding. We leaned on each other through some hard things. But one of the things that I learned about that relationship is that when someone wants to exit your life, you let them do it expeditiously. You call them their damn Uber and pack their bags and let them go on about their way. That's what I've learned from that. So, trying to understand and figure out where it was. And if I could break the fourth wall, to be honest with you, that relationship was sacrificed for a storyline for TV.
You believe that?
Now, this is the part where it gets interesting for me, because she says she feels like her relationship with Melody was sacrificed for the sake of a storyline. And I know this is where it gets tricky for a lot of people. And this is where people's strong opinions are going to come at it. Let's continue.
I absolutely do.
You believe Melody sacrificed the friendship to have a storyline on Love and Marriage Huntsville?
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know, or does anybody in the world on the cast know why we're no longer friends?
So again, I'm only basing what I was told at the reunion and courtesy of watching the show, right? It appeared two things were happening, and I would love for you to address it, debunk it, confirm it, whatever you want to do, right? I was told that a couple of things happened. First things first was Melody said when she was going through a divorce, so we're talking about women going through a divorce like yourself, you really don't know what's going on. You don't know who you are in terms of like whether you're coming or going, because it's the most devastating thing a woman can go through outside of death. But they did say divorce is like a death. Melody has said that when she's done filming, and obviously she was going through a divorce with this man that she was married to for, I think, 14 years, she sort of clocked out of the world, from production to cast members to friends. She clocked out because she was going through something difficult, and the interpretation was that, oh well, there's this weirdness between us because you said this at the not this last reunion, the other one before that, with your beautiful red dress. You said that you would contact her and she wouldn't call you back. And again, stop me when I'm wrong, but that you would reach out and it wasn't reciprocated, right? And that's when she said these things. And then after that reunion, right? Because I felt like that reunion, I'm like, we're good. Like, everyone's good. She is alleging that after that reunion is when she heard you and Tisha talk about her. And you said, what, did you have the glass to the door, honey, and you were doing this, child? She felt like she heard things alleged. Okay. She alleged that she heard you and Tisha talk about her negatively. And you two had a scene at the coffee shop addressing it. And that's what I thought was the last straw in terms of the friendship. But did you think that there were other?
The ending of that friendship was definitely weird for me. I never understood that. I never understood what was the real reasoning as to why they stopped being friends. I do know that at the season 3 reunion, Destiny had said what she said in regards to them not really speaking like that. And I do know that in season 3 they were having their issues. I know that Melody was getting really cool with Tiffany. Tiffany and Destiny were not getting along. Melody was defending Tiffany a whole lot, and that would become an issue for them. But then, Destiny was asking Melody, can she be her village, or where's my village at? I need you to be my village, all this other stuff. And it just seemed like Destiny was being needy while Melody was moving up. So when it came down to the demise of Melody and Destiny's relationship, I never understood why. And I always felt like the real reason behind it was Melody felt like she could not trust Destiny simply because Destiny was still really good friends with Martel. And the reasoning why I was so damn hard on Melody about that is because I would feel like she wasn't being truly honest about her feelings in regards to that. Like, it was mainly about Martel. I can't trust you. You're too close to him. Like, you might tell him some of my business. You may be discussing my business. I've been hearing that you've been discussing my business with him. So why would I want to be friends with you? You feel what I'm saying? But on Destiny's hand, she don't understand why, because she never really got a direct answer. That's how I took it. So please don't start with the bullshit in the chat. I'm just telling you how I saw it back then. Continue.
For other things going on that could have. Oh, and then last but not least, she also said that she felt you was too charming with her ex, that you would talk about. I'm sorry, that she would talk to you about confiding. And here I am confiding in Destiny about what this man is doing to me. And she alleged that one time you were on the phone with her, Martel clicked in. You said, girl, this is Martel. Let me call you back.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. And I don't want to drag this out, but I do want to make it clear. After the LA situation and what the cup to the door situation, we had to sit down. We had to sit down. Outside of that, we went to brunch. We talked. It was stated that I don't think you were talking crap about me. It was who you were talking to. And from that reunion where I had the red dress on, a maroon dress on, it was she realized in that moment that her and Tisha hadn't gotten to the space that she thought they were in. And that at that moment, she declared her enemy. So again, nobody is privy to that until I sit down or I wasn't until I sat down with her at that brunch outside of cameras and everything. And so we came to an amicable place. After that, talked about the breakup she was going through.
Is this off camera?
It's off camera.
Okay.
And after that, she came to my house, and then the next thing I know, we're beefing at the coffee shop. So there was nothing but before that. It was a conversation after LA, and it was, we're cool. And then that's why you saw me like, what? Oh, here we go. Like, what is this? Because I didn't understand, and I don't know where it came from. But, and then the whole thing with the chummy situation, like, let's let that be dead. Like, come on now. I'm probably one of the only female friends Martel got that he ain't. You know what I mean. But I've known Martel since I was 15 years old, and that's my brother. And I would never, first of all, you know how many times Martel has said, tell me what you know.
So she's basically stating that Martel is her brother. So by you saying that Martel is your brother and Mel is your friend, 9 times out of 10, your loyalty was gonna ride with Martel either way because that's your brother. We got to be real. We got to be funky. As much as you care about Mel and as much as you claim that that's your friend, you was gonna ride with your brother regardless. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's continue on.
He would ask you that?
Know. And I'm like, hey, what you know, I know. That's it. Ask him. You know, Martel ain't no good liar, so ask him.
Melody did say on my podcast that she was married to this man, I think at the time 14 years, together maybe 16, and she never met you until the show happened. So when you say you've known him since he was 15, she said she never heard of a Destiny Payton until the show happened.
I actually met her before show ever existed at a good friend of all of ours who passed away. And I said this at the reunion, how would you know me? I was living in Atlanta. I moved from there to LA, then to Nashville. So I wasn't in Huntsville. And when I started dating my ex-husband, and Martel and him have been friends since they were, I want to say 6 years old, you saw. And we all started hanging out. And that's just the reality of it. We all started hanging out, then you knew who I was. But you wouldn't know me when I was a single woman living in other spaces. And I wouldn't be calling your husband. That wouldn't be appropriate to me. I would see Martel at different things when I would come home, and we talk. We have the same goddaughter. Like, we have so many different things. Like, his mom used to date my dad. We have the same godchild. You know, Martel was at my graduation party at my house. I know him. Like, I just popped up like, hey, but it just wasn't even a thought in my mind. Like, when I found out he got married, I saw him out, congratulations, all that other good stuff, but I wasn't a part of that because they were married. And I was a hot girl outside, doing my thing. And if different cities, you know what I'm saying? No,
the different cities, Tiffany outlined, Detroit, Atlanta, Houston. Yes.
Yeah. Get drug in all of them, sure can.
Leave Tiffany alone, child. Okay.
I take Tiffany for face value. You never know what's coming out her mouth, and I'd be ready to give it right back to her.
Oh, how I miss those days. But I want to say this to you. I really, and I believe I'm speaking for a large part of the audience. I loved your relationship with Melody. I loved y'all friendship. I used to get a kick when she would refer to you as her baby mama. I saw this genuine friendship that was built off of, we both are strong, independent women in terms of our individual success in this world. I saw you two connect on that endeavor. I saw you two connect on the fact that, girl, we're both going through a situation with our exes that is really making us deal with a lot, right? And I just saw you two connect as girls. One of my favorite scenes is, when you two were sitting at the house and you were talking about what you were going through with your ex, and y'all hugged and cried, and you can't fake that. You know what I'm saying? You just can't fake that. And I do miss y'all.
That was at the with the IMA. That was at the retreat.
No, but that's another one. But I'm talking about, I think either you came over her house or she came over her house. She had a long blonde.
That was when I told her I was divorced. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm talking about. And I just loved it. I loved it. And I know when a friendship is based off of convenience, like, well, girl, let me be friends with you so we can have an alliance on this show, like other cast members on other shows. I didn't feel that way about the two of you. I genuinely felt the connection that you two had. Is there any way of a reconciliation? Because I'm going to say this. One thing we know based on Kimmy's breast cancer diagnosis is the fact that life is too short. And when you take inventory of what you may be mad at with the person, you have to ask yourself, is it really that deep? And again, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't feel like what y'all went through is that deep. You didn't sleep with her man. She didn't sleep with yours. You didn't do anything bad to her kids. And like, to me, it's not that deep. So with that being said, and knowing life is too short, and even Kimmy expressed that too, is there any chance, or are you even open to a reconciliation with Melody?
You never say never. You never know what life throws at you. But I will say this. I would have to be in relation with the person that I know off camera. You have to show up in your truth.
What do you mean by that?
The person that I got in that season, was it last season, wasn't the person that I knew off camera. So yeah, I'm not in the business of faking it. If it's not there, it's not there. So if it was, I know I said last season, absolutely not. And in my heart of hearts, I kind of still feel that way. But again, life throws different things at you. So I would say, never say never, but where I sit right now, I feel like, I'm moving forward with, my life, and I want to move forward with my friends and my family and people that I love and that support me. And she likes doing things alone. And I think that she'll be successful, get to the top alone. And I want to bring my friends and family with me.
The last thing about this particular section, because I want to address what.
Not to make this an astrology thing, but let's take into account that, excuse me, Destiny is a Taurus. Melody is a Scorpio. They ain't never gonna be friends again. It's just like Candy and Phaedra all over again. They ain't never gonna be friends again. Like, that's just the facts of the facts. They ain't never gonna be friends again, and that's just it. Too much has happened. Too much has been said. Too much has been suspected. It's never gonna change. Melody and Destiny will never be friends. The most that they'll probably be able to do is be in a place where they can be cordial, if that. But for the most part, baby, it's over.
That's what you said earlier. You said that you felt Melody wanted you out of her life. Called the Uber and was like,
when someone wants to or gives you signs that they don't want you in their life, you call them the Uber and let them go ride on out to the sunset.
Why do you feel that Melody did not want you in her life anymore?
I don't want to sit in her not wanting me in her life. It just, the way you move, I just move different. I want to bring my family, my friends, my loved ones with me. We just move different.
Do you still keep in contact with Martel?
I do. Everybody on the cast.
When it comes to your friendship with Kimmy, did you feel like Kimmy was hard on you too at the reunion when she made the comment that you don't share, you don't give anything, and that it is frustrating?
I was feeling like everybody else, like, where the hell is this coming from, first of all? And then secondly, I challenge that back to her. Because realistically, what do we really know about Kimmy? She went through a lot last season. God, thank you so much that she went through that. She was very supportive of my father, even outside of the show. She was giving me different things to get for him. She was being Nurse Kimmy to my dad. So, but the reality of it is that a lot of people are not giving you their real story. So we're gonna sit in that, like everybody be where the fire at, put it under their feet. Let's go.
Do you feel like there's some cast members on Love and Marriage Huntsville who are giving the real story?
Well, yeah.
Who?
Stuff that just seems a little, yeah.
Who do you feel that way about, Destiny?
We can get to we've been getting a lot of sides. Let's get to some meat. Where the meat at?
Would you like to name names?
Everybody. Everybody.
Are there things that you know that the cast ain't giving?
Did you see how the Scott boys tried to shut me up at the last reunion? Yeah, I know a lot. So for somebody to say, "Oh, you telling all my," I ain't even cut like that.
When the audience reads you, not all of them, some, Destiny don't give nothing. She ain't transparent. Blah blah blah. When you read those comments, do you feel like? Because I'm getting to know a lot more of how you're thinking. In your mind, when you read that or when people say that about you, do you think y'all don't even know half of what the other cast members are going through, and they ain't giving you anything, but they make it seem like they are, and kudos for them, but they ain't?
What I think about when I read those comments is, if you watch and you know me, I don't even know how to not be real. Like I sometimes too much. And I think like I've always been known as a truth teller. So to be called a liar and she don't give nothing, like give me a lie detector test. Let's go ahead and do one of them. So yeah, so when I look at those comments, I laugh because it's like, all right, yeah, all right.
Can you tell me?
No.
No. I'm gonna move on. You like no before we. Can you tell me that in real life, let's say real life, and again, I'm actually gagging right now, but let's say real life, who on Love and Marriage Huntsville have the most interesting story if they will only give 100% of it?
Your favorite?
Who's my favorite?
You let me know who your favorite is.
I don't have a favorite. Who do you think is my favorite?
Who is Carlos's favorite? It's got to be between Melody or Martel, but according to most people, Melody ain't his favorite. Got to be talking about Martel.
My favorite.
You know what I will say is, I feel like everybody has a lot more to give.
Okay.
I feel like everybody has a lot more to give.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Do you think I have a favorite?
We talked about this at Nightcap.
You told. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, you and Martel, and even Kimmy said this. Y'all believe Melody is my favorite. Okay, and tell me if I'm wrong. And I really want to know, and you can say whatever you want to say. Why do you feel Melody is my favorite cast member?
I feel that she's very protected. Y'all don't let the world see who she really is.
Really? And listen,
and I think she's more interesting being who she really is.
You think she's more interesting being who she really is. So this is what I want to say to about that. And this is, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's been the running joke, right? Like Carla's favorite, and I like to have fun because at the end of the day, one thing Kimmy said that I thought was so beautiful She said, look, I believe Mel is your favorite, but I will say this. You don't treat anyone differently. When we need you, you're there for us. You treat us all fairly. That's just who we believe. And she said, and I also believe it's because you knew her first. And that was her answer. But I want to go deeper. So when you say you feel like she's protected, I gotta be honest with you. I don't feel that way based on based on what happens. Because if that was the case, there's things people say about her that we air. There's things that
I don't know. I do kind of understand what she means by she's protected. In a sense, like, to be honest, she has the most favorable edit out of everybody, in my opinion. She doesn't really look bad. And it looks like everybody's coming against her, you know? But in our reality, I mean, at the same point in time, it may not look like it. It may just be everybody got an issue with her. Because it went from it's only her and Tisha fighting, and then it was her and Destiny fighting. Now her and Stormy are having problems. And then Marceau got a problem. Then, I don't really know what she's saying with Kimmy, but most of the cast don't like her. So mm, that's just my interpretation. I don't know.
that a lot of people feel like doesn't show her in a favorable light. But I will say this, and I think the world needs to know this, and that's why reality TV is going through this interesting phase because the audience are like, we want more realness, right? I don't hang out with y'all. I don't
Right.
party with y'all. I am the owner of the company and the creator of the show. I'm producer. So y'all will see things because y'all in real life, y'all are friends. The entire cast, y'all are friends in real life. So I don't see things that I don't know about, right? So when people say, well, there's things we know that so-and-so is giving you, I'm always like, but how would I find that out if no one tells me or if the other people don't talk about it? Because one thing about Huntsville, y'all think I protect Melody, y'all protect each other. There's things that y'all know about each other.
I learned my lesson in that.
Y'all protect each other. I'll
That's
ask a
true.
question and y'all be like, we're not gonna go there, Carlos. And again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I'm saying is the reason why I have to be honest and say I don't feel like we protect her based on what we ain't gonna show this, make it look because I can only show what people give, and I don't have a.
I've said some things.
What you say?
For sure, I've said some things.
Oh, okay. But I just and again. There's a lot that goes on in these shows, and there's not one person, and that's why I love that Kimmy said this. Kimmy said everybody complains that well, they didn't show this, they didn't show that. She said it's not. She said every last one of us, and I can say this: every cast member on Huntsville, including you, has contacted me to complain about y'all didn't. No. Not call me. I'm sorry. I don't mean literally call me. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean to
And
say.
I wasn't complaining. It had nothing to do with nobody else but me. It was my time. Listen.
And honey, I brought you on my talk show, The Nightcap. So clearly, I love you and I want you to express yourself. So that debunks that. And for the record, I don't have a favorite.
Okay. Listen.
When I tell y'all Carlos be so full of shit, he know he got a favorite. Why he lying?
It's okay.
like, oh, you know, I love all my babies equally.
I do though. I love
the
you.
oldest one is my favorite.
You said the oldest one?
Oh, that oldest one. Don't y'all tell nobody, but that oldest one is my favorite.
Anyways, I love you all equally, and that's why all of y'all are my favorites. Okay. Earlier you brought up Moses. Moses is your new, well, not new, but Moses is your boyfriend.
Me and baby got this situation.
Oh, come on, boys. So are you and Moses still together?
Me and Moses are in a space where that's one of my best friends. You know, he's always there. We're in a space where, for me, it's like transitioning out of a divorce and custody battle. It's like we are either going to be, we're trying to figure out the full-time commitment because we're in different places. And, you know, I don't know why I keep on choosing long distance situation, but I never, let me not say never. Let me be quiet. I'm about to put myself in a box. Stay away from Huntsville men. So what had happened was we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
Are you in love with him? That's a yes. You already answered the girl. Would you like to have another child?
Before him, it was a strong hell to the no. But he doesn't have children. And if we are going to commit 100%, that is absolutely on his list. He told me that.
Are you watching this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Now, you know, I barely watched it when I was on it, but now I will tell you this. I know what's going on because I talk to everybody. So it's like, girl, this happened. And I'm like, so sometimes I see the clips and I'm like, oh, that's when that happened. Okay. So, but I have seen a few episodes.
Do you miss the show?
I miss y'all sometimes, but you know, I've been outside, you know. A lot of the cast members called me, you know, Stormy and Tisha, and would have been like, they're like, what's the show? You should have been that.
Because y'all are, listen, the reason why Huntsville is huge is because y'all are real friends. And that was the reason why I was even into the show. It's like real friendships, history. You guys are really friends. Y'all don't hang out just because cameras are around. Y'all hang out in real life. And
was at Long's birthday party. Martel was late, missed it. And you know, Tisha had the girl. It was actually so yeah, we really hang out.
Would you like to come back to Huntsville or be on Love and Marriage Detroit?
Oh, Detroit. Detail people, they bringing it. They bringing it. Yeah, I mean, hey, both. Both. Don't turn it down.
So I'm trying to see if I care about the rest of this interview. Let's see, because I don't care about this. Let's see.
Have the words in the moment when I ran into Chris. Love him to death, by the way. And I think when I saw Nell, she thought I was upset with her, and I'm like, I'm not upset with you.
And they're alleging that you tried to fight Nell Fletcher. Is that true?
No, absolutely not. First of all, well, there's truth to the part of us getting not Nell, but Chris and I. And Chris was our broker. And it was a situation with a blogger that came into my house and videotaped. And I felt violated. I was angry. Mama Bear was like, this person's in my house, videotaping, you know, so I was upset. And I didn't have the words in the moment when I ran into Chris. Love him to death, by the way. And I think when I saw Nell, she thought I was upset with her. And I'm like, I'm not upset with you, but that's your man. So if I'm not rocking with him, you know, I don't want to. And so she was like, what happened? So I'm telling her, she was like, oh. And so in the moment when Chris walked up, I think I just blacked out. Because I was like, you know, I didn't feel protected. I'm like, you got a husband to go home to. These people don't know, you know, inside of your house. And so like at that point, I was just upset. I was upset. And, you know, they came by the house. We talked about it and we moved forward. And Martel took me to go get a pistol.
Okay, now. Be safe in these streets, baby. When it comes to you, what do you feel is the biggest misunderstanding that the love?
I always wondered what happened with that Chris Fletcher thing because we all seen this shit play out in real time and stuff like that. I know that she felt some kind of way about the blogger coming in her house and stuff like that. And basically, you know, recording and stuff like that. We all talked about this already. So everybody knew what my stance was with the situation. So, you know, everybody knew what my stance was on that, you know. But yeah, I figured this was gonna come up at some point in time. I knew it was gonna come up, and they did say that she tried to fight Neil too. I was like, nah, Destiny, don't be out here trying to fight Neil, child. Don't be doing that.
The Love and Marriage Huntsville fans have about you?
That I have an attitude, that I'm the attitude thing is the biggest thing. I think when you're a direct person, people sometimes don't know how to take that. And also I feel like last season I was really, really trying to figure out who I was in my life. And so a lot of things were aggy to me quickly. And so I think that's a big misconception for sure. And then also, like, for me to have always been a truth teller by fault, you know, you'll see me even in scene, like when I'm asked a question that I don't want to tell the answer to, I won't say anything because I would rather just not say anything than a lie. If it's going to incriminate other people in a storylines. So the truth, I've always said in my truth, ugly, good, bad, and indifferent. And so, yeah, those are probably the two biggest ones. And no. Let me say that I'm aggressive. Mm-hmm. That thing, it's like if I'm aggressive, give me a moment where any of these women have not had a moment like that. Everybody has had one. So you won't put that sticker on everybody, put it on all of us.
And there you have it. Destiny, I just want to say thank you for coming on. I know.
I think, yeah, that's about it. There's nothing else that needs to be said on this, so we can take this thing off. So that was the interview with Destiny and Mr. Carlos King. To me, it was a pretty decent interview. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a pretty decent interview. There was some things that we learned. There were some things that we didn't learn. There were some things that I agreed with. There were some things that I didn't agree with. I do think that she squabbled this whole opportunity to be on this show and didn't do anything with it. I feel like even though she couldn't talk about her marriage true enough, she could have talked about other things that happened in her life to make her appear more authentic and more relatable. I do think that it was fucked up how her and Melody's friendship ended. I felt like they had the more genuine friendship out of everybody on the show, and it's really unfortunate that it happened the way that it did. I really hate that it did. I wish they could have worked it out. The whole Chris Fletcher thing. I understood why she was upset, which I said before, but I don't think she should have came at Chris about it. You know what I mean? Like whatever happened with the blogger, then that's just what happened with it. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't get mad at Chris. He ain't the one that came in there and recorded up in there. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why that even happened that way. But you know, that's a whole nother story with her. And Anthony. That's a whole nother story with that. So, you know, I ain't finna go into that because they ain't got nothing to do with Scotty. You know what I mean? Did I agree with the shit? Absolutely not. But that's their business. So I ain't gonna go there because I know how you motherfuckers is who be watching shit. Y'all like to take folks' words and twist it around and create your own narratives, honey. But yeah, and hopefully I see her back on TV some kind of way. I do want to see her back on TV because I like Destiny, and that's all I gotta say about that. So I don't give a damn who got a problem with it. I like Destiny. So with that being said, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a premiere, so leave your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. So with that being said, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out here. Until the next video, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye.